Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome any new subscribers, if there was any. Appreciate that shit. Alright, back in Florida. Looks like we got our first customer. Now, one I thought this individual was bringing me was a little bit different than one I got, but yeah, I can fix it. He just doesn't know how much money he wants to spend on it. That's the thing. I think this is a granite. I do believe an Arrma Granite. Pretty sure. I see already shock's bent. A little bend in there. And missing drive shaft. He says he's got that. Got some bolts loose here. I did try to power it up. I got the ESC to beep and shit, but I don't think the receiver's doing anything because I couldn't get the servo to move or anything. That's kind of rusty, so I don't know if that servo's cooked or what. So yeah, the fan worked, so let me see if I can see if there's even a receiver in here and see what we got going on. Alright, I had to bust the ESC loose because I had to get at this screw. That's a standard size, that's metric, so got some screws to replace. I don't know what this shit is, but it's hard. I gotta get that off. So let's see if there's even a receiver in here. And yeah, there's a receiver. What do we got going on? Let's see why this thing don't work. Let me pull it out. Track this receiver. Alright, let me the hell is give me a few minutes. Alright, I got it all bound up. Servo seems to work. Something ain't right. Motor sounds like it's spinning. Nope, that motor bad. That motor bad. Bitch getting hot. Bitch is hot already, and I just plugged it in. Ooh, wires are hot. Everything hot. Alright, so that motor. Oh, Hobby Pat. What the hell's that? Alright. Let me continue on and see what's next. Yeah, this motor's shot. For some reason, it's binding up. I mean, cables are hot. Everything hot. Everything hot. Let that cool down and see if them cables on the ESC get hot still if I unplug this. Yeah, something ain't right. And just for shits and giggles, I did switch this yellow and blue around because blue was plugged into yellow and yellow was plugged into blue. I mean, that don't mean shit sometimes, but it might mean something now. Let me plug this in and see what happens. Nope, that motor's bad. It's garbage. Alrighty, now we know. Alright, I got everything out so I can see what we got going on in here. This is tight. That does not move freely whatsoever. Tight as shit. Alright, let me get these wheels off. Get the thing sprayed down and get it cleaned. Because I ain't working on nothing dirty. Alright, got the wheels and hexes off. Looks like this bearing's bad. The outer seal. Thought it was a shim at first. But no, it's the outer seal. Not a biggie. Alright. I'll check everything, see if everything's moving freely and feels right. And shocks feel pretty good actually. Except for that one. I'm gonna get that bent rod. Shock shaft. And that to feel pretty good. Alright. I got the diff part, the tranny I guess it is. And the motor froze the hell up. It's also missing a pinion. A pinion there. Ain't that supposed to have a bearing in it? Oh, there's the bearing. It's got an upgraded steel spur gear, so that's good. This all seems good to go. Other than that motor. A little dirty. We clean that up. We got this pretty much cleaned up. This looks a lot better. A little WD-40 on her. slow that rust down on all them screws. Cleans up some of them, but some of them just got so much on them. It's hard to get it all off. Alright, I probably have to pull this front off. This diff feels tight and frozen up. Should spin freely with your hand like this one. You ain't spinning this shit. Alright, let me get going. Alright, first thing you're going to do is check bearings. No, this one's bad because this one's missing the shield. Looks like that one's been put back in or has been damaged. And that's missing the shield. This one feels alright. Oh, hell. That thing tight as hell. It should move freely. Should flop around. Flop around, flop around. Okay, so I gotta take these apart, clean these rods out, put them back in. Should be alright. He's got a few upgrades on here, mostly just arms. It looks like just arms, and then he had a brushless system in there. But he was running 4-cell. He's running 4S. Max you could run on that is 3S. Just because the ESC will handle 4S doesn't mean the motor will handle 4S. And so it didn't, because that motor locked up. Little 5900 kVs. That thing locked up. Little thing. Yeah, 4S fry this thing real quick. Gotta stick 3S. Alright. Let me continue on with these. I'll be checking shocks too. I'll pull off the thing, check them, see if they got a dead spot. Maybe pull one off, see what the oil looks like. Alright, let me get going. Alright, found a problem. This is already too snug in there. So I need to file a little bit of this plastic off so I freeze it up. And also this pin, I mean, granted it's skanky, but it's also too tight. And full of shit. So it's not moving freely either. So clean this all up, maybe ream this out just a tad, put it back together and see if we can get the flippy floppy. Alright, let me get going. Alright, so we got this working nice and smooth. Not much. I just took a little file, round one, went through there a little bit, cleaned out whatever's in there. I took another flat file and hit the sides of this aluminum arm. Put it back together, good to go. Arm moves pretty freely, good enough. I'm gonna take this shock apart and see what we got going on inside there for fluid, see how nasty that shit is. Alright, got the back suspension working pretty good. I wouldn't do that before. Got the shocks, added some oil, drained out the oil, just stuck some fresh in there. Pretty good now. Stiff. I did replace 4 bearings. The 2 inside ones, one here, one there, and then the 2 outside ones. So that should be a little better. 2 of these were bad. Figured the other 2 were on their way, so might as well replace them. Let's pull this rear end off and see what we got going inside there for the little diff. See if it's alright. It feels alright, but that don't mean shit. Right, let me pull this off. Alright, got it opened up. I'll be damned if this shit, that gear's plastic, man. It's plastic. It's all one piece. What the hell? I mean, it comes apart. I think I take it apart. It's dry as shit. But that's plastic. I ain't never seen no bullshit like that. And I suppose that's why these things are so cheap. Plastic. Jesus. I'll be damned if the ring and pinion gear are both plastic. They ain't damaged. Alright, need a little grease, but I'm gonna take this, pull this diff out and take these planetary gears out and see what the hell they look like. They plastic too? Cheap ass bastards. Yeah, got it out. Checked the gear. The gears are fine inside there. I did add some 30,000 diff fluid, so that should tighten that bitch up a little bit. But yeah, it looked good in there. But it was planetary gears. It was like the weird ones, so whatever. Right, let me clean this bullshit up, grease the living bejesus out of that, check them bearings, and put this shit back together and move on to the front. when you put these diffs back together, make sure you just snug these down and then crisscross them a little bit at a time, because if you over torque it, it'll bind up the gears on the inside. So you don't you're not putting on a car tire. So be easy on it, a little bit at a time. Tighten, 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 crisscross. All right, let me get this done. All right, I'm just cleaning all this goop out of here, and I'll re-grease it. And check out this pinion. This thing looks surprisingly good for being plastic. Let me check these bearings, get these back in here, and get this rear end put back together. And then that's done. Alright, got it all put back together. And put some grease on these plastic ass gears here. Got some red and tacky. It should be fine. Alright, let me get going on this. Alright, back end's all back together. Got some new shock oil. Got some diff fluid in there. Got some grease on them plastic ass gears. So everything's nice and smooth as silk. Alright. The front's going to be a little bit more fun. I got to see if I can fix that without having to actually purchase one. Not like these things are expensive, but it is what it is. If I can straighten it out and it still works, let's go with that. Alright, let me get this off. Alright, got them shocks off so I can see if these arms are binding. This should look pretty good. I shouldn't have to do much there. But there is an issue. Its steering is all grippy and it ain't smooth. It does not meet my critical standards. So let me take this shit apart and see if it's coming from this part or if it's coming from this linkage up here. So I'm just going to take these off these front hubs, and then I can tell if it's the hubs that are binding or if it's the linkage. Yeah, let me get going on that. Alright, seems to be a combination of both, but mainly the steering rack. So it just feels like shit. Alright, let me see if I can get this shit out of here and find out what's going on. Alright, pulled these drive shafts out. These bearings are crunchy. Especially these back ones, they dry as hell. Yeah, these ain't too bad, but they're a couple bucks a piece. Replace them. Yeah, it's probably just dirty in here. We'll get to that. Alright. Alright. Got that front diff out, but this bitch ain't turning. There's something binding in there. It won't spin all the way around. So let me take this case apart so it lets this free. Let's see what's happening. This don't look too bad. It looks like I don't know if that's water for me. No, that's diff oil. Grease snot. Yeah, these are tight. It looks like there's bearings in there. Might be wrong. If there is bearings, they shot. I don't know why they put bearings in there. They don't put bearings in there on their expensive ones. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, figured out why it don't spin. All these bearings are froze up. That one's froze up. That one's froze up. That one's froze up. Oh, whoa, that could have hurt me. I would have been crying like a little baby. I don't know if this back one's froze up or not. The back one spins. This one's locked up. That one's locked up. That one's locked up. All right, let me pull them out. Put some more juice up in there. Clean this bullshit up. Pull that rack. See what's up with that. And continue on. All right, front diff's done. Yay. Let's pull this steering rack out and see what we got going on. I wonder if they did put bearings in there. Because like on some of the other ones, like these Arrmas, these big Arrmas, they don't put bearings in there. I think the Creighton came with them, but like the Mojave, I don't think that it came with bearings in the steering. I think it had bushings. All right, let me get this shit out and see what's going on. I literally had to beat this bitch out of this steering rack. The outer bearings are still in there. They were so rusted up. Look at their shit. They're still on here. I gotta figure out how to get those off of there. Might have to cut them hose. Alright, let me use my brain and figure out what's going on. Alright, it's nice and smooth now. Alright, good to go. But yeah, they were stuck on that one. I had to cut them off with a Dremel. Where the pieces at? One of them. Where's the other pieces at? Whatever, man. They were stuck on that shaft, man. If they're so rotted, rusted. Rust will mess your shit up. Alright, let me get this back together. I'm about done with this thing. Other than I gotta get a motor and stuff. Alright, let me finish up. Shit. I thought I was about done, but it looks like I need to pull this diff out again. It's binding. It's tight. That pinion there and that spur gear, they're tight. Shouldn't be that tight. So let me get back in there. Alright, I shimmed this out a little bit. It's a little better. It does have one little tight spot right there. But then again, the shit's all plastic, so. But yeah, it ain't really tight. It's just you can feel a little drag when you turn it. And it feels a little better. Yeah, but yeah, that's good to go. What's next? Well, we gotta fix this bent ass thing. Let's see if we can fix it without having to spend any money on it. Yeah, let's get going. Yeah, that's some strong ass shock shaft there. I just made it. I couldn't get it straight, man. There's like 8 different bends in it now. Yeah, I couldn't straighten this shit out. Yeah, it's toast. Gotta order new ones. Yeah, that's about as far as I can go on this. I did order a motor. I ordered a new shock shaft. What the hell else I ordered? I ordered something else. So I ordered some pinions because I need a pinion. Plus the motor's got a 5mm shaft instead of this little baby shaft here. So it's got a bigger shaft and it's a longer can and it's a hobby wing, not a hobby park. What the hell's hobby park? Anyway, so, and plus it's I think it was a 3200 kV instead of a 5900 kV. So that should be a little easier on it. It won't get hot so much. All right, we'll see. But let's do this here mess here. See what we got going. I can see already this bearing's nasty because there's a chunk of it laying back here and it's all grindy. It looks like it's gonna be a bitch to get off because that's all ate up. Look how tore up that shit is. Somebody been in there. Yeah, it's a nice steel spur gear. So let me get this bearing out. Might as well get that other bearing out and replace them both. Call it a day. Alright. Alright, I ain't getting this slipper bearing off. You look real close, you got some hairline cracks right there, right there, right there. This thing's so gouged up that bearing's not coming off. I don't know if I cracked it or if it already had hairline cracks, but the bearing ain't coming off. So I need a new one of these. Let me see if I can find this part number. I don't need the whole assembly, I just need that one freaking piece. Alright, let me get going. Alright, got the case all cleaned up, the insides, got that bearing replaced. Ordered this, it was like $7, $7, $8. This thing was trashed, that bearing wasn't coming off. It had to come off because it's all crunchy. You can see it's missing the back cover, the back shield. Whatever. There's a pile of shit already. A lot of bearings. I think we're like 26 bearings were replaced. They're all garbage, or on their way to being garbage, or will be garbage. Alright, I just gotta wait for the motor, the pinions, my man to give me the drive shaft so I can actually make it work, and shock shaft, get that back on, then I can get the front put back together, get tires on it, and it's just a matter of install the electronics, man. Easy breezy. Alright, finally got it done. Parts finally came in. I had to wait 3 weeks for this damn part. So this had to be replaced because it was all gouged up. Couldn't even get the bearing off. Plus it was cracked, so yeah. And about 16, 18 bearings, I can't tell. So many of them fell apart. Bent shock, I couldn't straighten that bad boy. This motor's 5900, it's for like a car. He edited this version on 4S, so it was a little bit too much for it. So I got this all done, all cleaned up. It can only be run on 3S because that's all this is. So I jacked him up to a hobby wing, got a used one for not too bad. That was probably the most expensive thing. Put some screen covers on his little fans. So he just got to bring drive shaft. I already drove it. Works fine in two-wheel drive body, and he come pick this up. All done. Next project will be my little eBay find right there, Creighton 4S. So we'll do that next. Alright, that's it for the first video for RC bullshit down in Florida. Alright, till next time, later.